sowing some tomato seeds today, and it's a variety that some people might not have heard of, and it's called garden pearl. It's basically a bush tomato plant which you can put in baskets, you can put them in pots, and they're nice compact. They grow to around this size in your pot, but they completely fill with lots and lots of little cherry tomatoes, and the colours vary from a dark pink to red. So I'm going to pop some seeds in one of these old plug trays. So I'm just going to plant one seed per cell. So having filled this with a little compost, we're just going to bed it down a little. Now we've compacted it down a little bit, we're just going to top it back off. And then give it a water. Now we've let that settle down a bit, I'll show you these seeds. As you can see, they're quite tiny. As are all dwarf varieties of tomatoes, they always have very small seeds. I mean, normally I grow a variety called Red Robin, and that tomato plant actually only grows to about 12 to 14 inches tall. But you still get a few tomatoes off it. And that type of variety are absolutely perfect if you haven't got a greenhouse to keep them outside. You can keep them on your windowsill, ideally south facing window, so it's getting plenty of sun, which is something that I've done before, and add a salad leaf bowl stood next to it. So as I said, we're only going to put one seed per cell in here. Okay, we've done that, so we've got one tomato seed per cell. And this is one of the plug plant trays that I saved from last year. And as I've said before, I always save these because this holds 24 plants and it's only very small. So space is not a problem at all. So now we've done that, what we're going to do is we're just going to poke them below the surface of the soil. But because they're such tiny seeds, you don't want to be pressing them down too deep. So just below the surface. And if you're using a pencil for seeds, every time you press a seed down, check it, because sometimes it'll stick to the bottom. So, as you can see, they've been pushed just below the soil. We don't want them too deep. And we also need to give them a really light covering of compost as well. So I'm just going to use this. That should do, and then we'll just smooth the top off. And there you go, you got a nice, even, thin layer of compost on there. Now we're just going to water them in. And then we need to remember to pop a label in it. And I'm just using one of these. They're just old lollipop sticks that we save. They come in handy, I mean they're wood, so they last quite a while and you can write on them. So if you know anybody that buys a lot of ice lollies, ask them to save you these. So we've got his label sorted out. We're just going to pop that in. And when these do germinate, we'll be pricking them out, putting them into a bit of a bigger pot. I usually take them from something like this. I'll let them get a couple of inches tall, And you want to make sure they've got the true leaves on, and don't try and transplant anything if it hasn't got a set of true leaves. The first leaves that come out of the soil, two little leaves, are just the baby leaves, if you want to call them that. When you get two sets of leaves growing on a plant, the second set is the true leaf, and at that stage you can transplant them and then move them on into a pot about this size. It's a 9 centimetre, and they'll stay in there for quite a while. So you take it out of that pot and then just pop it in something like this. A 10 litre pot is big enough to keep that plant in through the entire growing season. So it's a good space saver, and also you can move this around when needed. If you want to take it, put it under shelter overnight, you can. If it's too hot, you can move it out to the sun. If it's in a shady part, you can move it into the sun. So that's the beauty of having things like this. And then always remember to keep a bottle of this handy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. When you're growing tomato plants or pepper plants or cucumbers, when it's quite early in season like it is now, this needs to be put somewhere warm, or these seeds will rot before they germinate. So put it somewhere warm, put it in your house. If you've got somewhere in your house, you can just pop it and just wait until they germinate. Also, don't forget that if you've got any plants that you are bringing on in a shed with heat and light, or in your house, you need to harden them off. You can't just take them out and then put them straight in your greenhouse, because there's a good chance that it will shock the plant and it will kill it. So what you need to do, whatever you grow indoors, bring it out for a couple of hours a day in the sun, not in the full sun, just so it's got some light on it. A couple of hours, then at night time put it back where it was, and you have to do that for about 5 days, and then it will have hardened off, it'll be climatized, and then you can move it into your greenhouse permanently. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.